First goal of the year goes for the Raiders.
Oh, beautiful shot there. Nicely done. Gets the pin.
Oh, was that beautiful? Onside kick, and it's recovered by Hastings.
And he's rung up for strike three.
Doblowy! Touchdown Raiders! First goal of the year goes for the Raiders.
Oh, beautiful
TV.
shot there.
Trey
Nicely
Lauer
done.
from
Gets the pin.
KDWA here for the final youth game of the day
Beautiful.
between the Hastings U14-B and Cottage Grove U14-B to decide the final youth game. As we said, the Raiders have won all 6 so far in this softball day in Hastings, and will look to go perfect on the youth side going into the high school games tonight. I'll be joined by Ashley Bose as our color commentator for the high school games in a little bit, but right now we're gonna get these U14-B games in. Both teams in black uniforms for this one, so that will be a hot one out there for sure. As again, the last game out only went 2 innings and ended with a 30-0 final score. Hastings has taken all 6, as we said. 10-9, 2 10-9 games, an 8-7 game, a 9-5 game. And Cora Oddman will get the start on the mound for Hastings in this first game. And Maya Lunar will lead things off for Cottage Grove here, as the wind up the pitch from Oddman in for a strike. So this was going to be the final game of the day of the 65-minute rule. If you've been with us throughout the day, the early games were either 5-run rule per inning or 3 outs, and every game went 65 minutes. This is the last of the 65-minute games, and then the 2 high school games tonight will go their full 7-inning distance. This one bounces in for a ball from Oddman. 0-0 the score. No outs, first batter of the game. Thanks for being with us on KDWA and HCTV. Oddman throws a strike in that pitch. So off to a good start here is Cora Oddman. And the wind up, the pitch swung on, fouled on by Looney. And so that will keep it 1-2 here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The windup swung on by Looney and fouled off, and look out if you're back over in the concession area, because that one was bounced in for a foul ball. 2-2 the count for Looney. Oddman. The windup, the pitch, that one thrown high for ball 3, and that will fill it up 3-2. For Looney. Again, after this game, they're starting it significantly early, about 15 minutes early, which will give us an extra 15 minutes between this game and the JV game. So we will send you back to regular programming on KDWA after the first game. This game is concluded as Looney gets walked over to first base. Ellie Geiser steps in on HCTV. We'll stay at it here on softball day in Hastings. This one kicked back over towards Oddman on the mound, then she throws it over to first. The runners will both advance. So runners on first and second for Cottage Grove here in this top of the first. Darby Cronin up now for Cottage Grove, as Oddman sends this one in, and that one will be thrown a strike. Hastings, if you're listening on the radio, in black uniforms with blue numbers, white, yellow, and blue trim. Cottage Grove in black and green jerseys with green numbers, black lettering, and green trim, kind of a two-tone look. Thrown high here by Oddman. Two-1 the count for Cora Oddman. We'll wind up the pitch, that one thrown high. 3-1 the count now for Cora Oddman in this U14-B matchup between Cottage Grove and Hastings, the final youth game of the day here at Softball Day in Hastings. And strike called there, 3-2 now the count for Cora Oddman. As Oddman stands in the wind of the pitch, that one thrown high, ball 4. Cronin heads off the first, and the bases are loaded for Cottage Grove here in the top of the first. Olivia Plash now steps in. The wind up, swung on by Plash for a strike. So bases are loaded, no outs here for Cottage Grove in the top of the first of this 65-minute game. That one rolls in. And Oddman throws that one outside. The wind up the pitch, thrown back in for a ball there. Here's the wind up, swung on by Plash, and a strike is called. Loaded. So Cottage Grove brings a run in and keeps the bases loaded. It's a 1-0 lead here now in the top half of this first inning of game number 1 on HCTV and KDWA. And Lauren Mulgrew will step in now for Cottage Grove here. One away. Mulgrew takes that one high. Had a look on her face like she wasn't expecting that pitch. And Oddman ready to dig in here. The wind up, swung on for strike 2. 1-0 Cottage Grove in this battle of neighboring cities. Different counties though. Ball gets away here. 1 run will almost score. Oddman throws her out at home. Tags her out at home, but nonetheless, as she slid in from third and Oddman raced over from the mound and made the play. And so that is going to be 2 away now for Cottage Grove, 1-0. And runners on second and third for the Wolfpack. Here is the windup and the pitch. That one high. And runners will stay put at getting ready to go to work now for the bottom of this second inning on Softball Day in Hastings 2022. The wind up, the pitch, thrown outside here. And this is Zoe O'Donnell in there now for the Raiders. Here's the windup on O'Donnell from Methner and thrown in for a strike. Again, it's been a very fun day out here today. Those of you who may not have been here the whole day, as O'Donnell pops that one up into right, gets down for a base hit, and O'Donnell is on to first base. So Zoe O'Donnell gets a hit to right field. As it bounced down before a play could be made. And Renweiler in now for Hastings. And Methner throws that one high, and that's going to allow O'Donnell to take off to second with no issues. as Piper is the catcher here for Cottage Grove. Methner is the pitcher. And the wind up, the pitch fanned on for a strike. And it's 2-1 Cottage Grove here in this bottom of the second inning. Hard to see my monitor now with all the dirt that's on it. Clean that off for the JV game here. But thank you. And 2-1 the score, and I think the count as well. Sorry to apologize to the live stream. We do appear to have had some internet issues with HCTV's live stream, but all good now. So unaware of any issues with KDWA other than a brief hiccup earlier in the day, but apologies about that if you were watching on the live stream. Here's the wind up, the pitch, and a strike is called. Here's the wind up, the pitch, that one high. She'll take off the first base. And that will put 2 on for Hastings here. And Brooke Myers is now in there for Cottage Grove, or for Hastings. Paige Algren. So actually Paige Algren in. And the wind up, the pitch, and a strike called here on Algren. Methner has been pitching pretty well here for Cottage Grove. Again, two teams, and probably a lot of people on these two teams that are familiar with each other, being in such close proximity to one another. Bounces in for a ball. The runners will advance. O'Donnell to third, Roomwell to second. And so Methner will stand in here now and get ready for the wind up. Gets hit right in the rib cage on the left side and is headed off to first base. And so now I think Brooke Myers will now come in. Hastings and Cottage Grove in this U14-B clash, and Myers will take a strike one. And a wind up and the pitch swung on, and I believe that was fanned on. Myers still in there, the wind up, the pitch thrown outside for a ball here. So Hastings and Cottage Grove in a 2-1 game in the bottom of the second inning, and a strikeout is called here for out number 1, I believe. Jaden Roush will step in. Here's the windup and the pitch. And they'll try to pick off O'Donnell at third. It gets away from her. And now O'Donnell doesn't know to come home or go back to third, and she'll waltz back over to third base. And so she's going to be over on third now. Thanks for being with us here on KDWA and HCTV. Swung on there. 2-1 Cottage Grove, bottom two. We do play 65 minutes here, so we are running a little bit low on time right now. As that one will dribble in for a strike. I believe we started this game around 4:15, so we probably have about 23 minutes left in this one. Wind up, and that one did not get a piece of her, okay. For Roush here. And Roush awaits this pitch from Methner. Wind up, the pitch, high. And O'Donnell's coming home, and she's safe to tie the game at 2. So O'Donnell slides in and ties this game at 2. Runners on second and third, with Roush still at the plate for Hastings here in this bottom of the second inning. JV coming up next. That'll be at 6 o'clock. Again, there will be a brief pause in the action after this game on KDWA. And if you're radio listeners, we'll be sent back to regular programming for about 40 minutes or so. Wind up, pitch, swung on for Roush, and that's a strikeout. So that's 2 away for Hastings now. And so Methner ready for another inning of work here for Cottage Grove, another batter, I should say. Throws that one high for a ball, and then gets tripped as Oddman is at the plate now. And the catcher trips over Oddman. Two, bottom 2 in this game, as Oddman will take a strike low. Methner, wind up pitch, that one high on Oddman for a ball. 2-1 the count here. Swung on by Oddman, and it doesn't leave the base. So that will be strike 2. 2-2 the count for Cora Oddman. The wind up, the pitch, and I think she took a ball there, so that should fill it up 3-2. Here is the wind up, swung on and fanned on by Oddman, and that will end the second inning. It is 2-2 after 2. This is softball day in Hastings. Back here at softball day in Hastings, where the bus with the Matamidi Zephyrs has just arrived for their JV and varsity tilts later on tonight. So we've got U14-B working a 2-2 tie here. We should hopefully have time to get this to the bottom of the third and give the Raiders a chance to walk it off, perhaps, in the bottom of the third inning. Again, this is a 65-minute game, and we've approaching 45 minutes of action, so should be about 25 minutes to go, perhaps, depending on what the exact time we started was. 45-ish minutes left in this one, and we will hopefully get to see the Raiders bat again here in the bottom of inning number 3, but it's Cottage Grove going at it here in the top of the third. And Mila Looney back to the top of the order. The windup from Oddman, and a throw and a strike from Cora Oddman. 0-1 the count on Mila Looney here. And Oddman will throw that one high for a ball, 1-1. Really great crowd on hand here all day today. Here's the next pitch that's thrown in for a strike. Looney digs in now. She's ready for her pitch. Oddman likes what she sees, the windup, and a ball is thrown there. Here's the windup again. That one in and a strikeout, and Looney is away for Cottage Grove. And so now we will see Gesner in here to face Oddman. And Oddman will throw a ball on that first pitch. Here's the wind up, the pitch. Gesner will swing on that one for Cottage Grove. Oddman, and Gesner fouls that one off into the backstop in front of us here. May have been able to hear that one. Wind up. And a ball thrown there. One away. Nobody on, 2-2 here. Top of the third. Cora Oddman digging in here for Hastings. The windup, throws that one high, ball 4, and that will send Gesner off to first base. Just a magnificent job by the grounds crew today to prepare these games for the different lengths that are coming with the different age groups. Some fields are shorter than others. So really awesome to see this grounds crew doing a great job and yeoman's work to get this field prepared for each and every game. As Cronin out there now for Cottage Grove, and she will swing on that one and take a strike. Here's Oddman, the windup, and threw a ball there to even it up 1-1. Here's a throw back over towards second, try to pick off Gesner, and it gets away from the second baseman. And so Gesner will slide in safely to second base. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's thrown high. And Gesner will take off to third and put the leading run on 60 feet away from home plate. And 60 feet for softball, 90 feet for baseball. As Oddman, the wind up, the pitch. That one into the dirt, ball 4. And Cronin is off to first base. So runners on the corners now for Cottage Grove here. Still a long way to go in this one. Another 15 minutes or so. Oddman, the wind of the pitch. Strike is called there as Cronin takes off to second base. Puts both runners in scoring position. This is Olivia Plash at the plate for Cottage Grove. Here is the windup, and a strike is called to Plash here. Oddman, a windup, the pitch. Throws that one back out to Oddman after a ball. As Plash looking to bring in a run here for Cottage Grove in the top of the third. Here is Oddman. And they will call that one a ball. So Oddman, the windup again. That one is high for a ball. That should make it 3-2 here. The windup. Dribbles in. Runners will stay put for Cottage Grove. Ball 4 will send Plash off to first base. And bases loaded for Cottage Grove here in the top of the third with one out. And Sarah Methner, who was on the mound in that first 2 innings of action for Cottage Grove, having a discussion with her coach here. Just noticed Methner has a different colored jersey than the rest of her teammates do. And she'll take that one high. Different number color. She's got white numbers, and the rest of the Cottage Grove players have... Oh, no, that's Hastings players. Just kidding. My bad. I was looking at the Hastings player. They're wearing the same colored jerseys. I'm bound to get confused. There is one who's wearing a different uniform than the rest, but she's in the on-deck circle. I was saying to myself, how did I not notice that earlier? And then there was a different team. So, bound to happen. Cora Oddman, the windup here, throws a strike, and Methner steps out. Oddman needs this one last strike. Here's the windup. And it's throwing a ball to Methner. So Cora Oddman in the circle for Hastings. The windup, the pitch, and got her with a strike. Nice job, and Methner is away. So that will be 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. And now stepping in for Cottage Grove, and this one will get away, and the run will score, or will it? Yes, it will. They tried to throw it back to Oddman, and now discussions of whether or not to bring home Cronin, but Cronin will stay put at third. Cottage Grove goes up 3-2 on that stolen base. I guess it was a wild pitch, but wild pitch allowed her to steal home. Top of the third inning, 2 outs. Running a little bit low on time here with the 65-minute clock. As the windup from Oddman thrown high. Also got 3 NHL playoff game 7s tonight. That's going to be exciting to watch. There's one going on right now as well. Don't remember who's who in the order, but Oddman throws that one outside for a ball. Oddman swung on for a strike. The first NHL playoff game is Carolina-Boston, and that's on right now. Carolina with a 3-1 lead in the second. Wind up, popped up into the air, fouled. That is game 7. Derek Stepan, by the way, not in the lineup today. He was a last minute, or a late scratch, I guess. They put in a different player over him. So he's not in that lineup for Carolina in game 7. At least as far as I know. Don't have the game on. That one is thrown in for a strike, and that is going to be 2 outs, I believe, that's 3 outs. I was going to say that looked like 3 outs. And so that is the 3rd out. And now Hastings will have a chance here, down just 1 in the bottom of the 3rd. This is softball day in Hastings. Back here on KDWA for game number 7 of our 9-game slate today at Softball Day in Hastings, the final one of the timed games. We go to the bottom of the 3rd now, with Hastings trailing Cottage Grove 3-2. And here comes the windup, and the pitch almost gets hit. Takes that one outside. No runners on. It's still the first runner batter of the inning here. That one low and in for a ball. 1-1, 2-1, I believe is the count here. Carcetta at the plate. And she'll take a strike there. So Carcetta awaiting the pitch here from Methner. Take that one high for a ball. And that should fill it up 3-2. A wind up, swung on, fanned on for strike 3, and they're away. So now, stepping in for the Raiders, Macy Dayton. And the windup and the pitch swung on by Dayton. Again, Hastings down a run here in the bottom of the 3rd with 1 away. And we are in the final probably 10 minutes, I would say, of this one. As should be under 10 minutes left, about 8 minutes left in this one. as Macy Dayton will take that one for a ball. So Medner trying to finish this one out for Cottage Grove and end the perfect afternoon in terms of victories for Hastings, although it will be a perfect afternoon based on the incredible spotlight this has put on youth softball, regardless of results. And the wind up here, and ball taken there. So Macy Dayton is the tying run at the plate. Bottom third, one out, less than 10 minutes left in this game. Wind up the pitch. And she is walked off to first base and hits the gritty as she heads over to first. That has certainly become like the go-to celebration in all of sports. I've even seen NHL players doing it now too. And Kylie Harris, the winning run at the plate for Hastings here in the bottom of the third inning, and Harris will take a strike on the first pitch. 3-2 score for Cottage Grove in the bottom of the third in what could be the final inning of this game. Wind up, pitch swung on, gets it down to Medner, who will throw it to second, and they'll get the first out. So one away for the Raiders, but Kylie reached on to first base there. So one away, and Haley Freiber. And so Freiber will go to work here and take a strike on the first pitch as Medner continuing to deal for Cottage Grove in this one. The 3-2 advantage, the wind up here, the pitch, that one into the dirt for a ball. Here's the wind up here, and that one high for a ball. Again, a runner on first with two outs, so this could be the last chance for the Hastings U14-B here. Wind up the pitch, in for a strike. She looks back over at the bench and says, "I got this," essentially with her face. Didn't say it. Medner, the windup swung on and popped up over into right, and the catch is made for out number 3. And so Cottage Grove will go to the 4th inning now with a 3-2 lead, but we'll see how much longer we'll go for here. About 5 minutes left in this game, so we'll just stay right here for the final 5. As Cottage Grove appears on their way to a 3-2 victory over Hastings, unless they can get the fastest inning of all time in here. And again, we are going to get to the ending of this game a little early. About, I would say, an hour and a half, not an hour, but about a half an hour before the completion of this game was scheduled to be, because we started it early. So if you're listening on KDWA, we will send you back to regular programming and come back to you at 6 p.m. Now, we will have JV and varsity games for you after that. Matamidi, the opponent for both. As looking forward to seeing Coach Jen Tessing and company tonight. And the Raiders softball teams to finish off this softball day in Hastings. Those of you that are watching or listening that were out here earlier today, obviously been a very awesome day. We got to have Prescott teams out here as well. And so we're really honored and grateful for that, as probably the biggest gust of wind of the day, causing a little bit of a dust storm out there on the field. And the longer this continues, Madison Wilward facing a new pitcher for Hastings here. Wind up, and Wilwert will take a swing on that one. I don't think that's still Oddman on the mound. And 2-1, I believe, the count here. So Cottage Grove can just eat up this clock here and take this victory. As that one thrown outside. That still will be a very fun day to spotlight these youth softball teams, as we've said all day, and John Thermos and company, Cindy Lyon, who've all worked together to make this a reality. Everybody that has actually been on that committee to make this a reality has been just a wonderful event here as Wilwert heads off to first base on the walk. And the spotlight will shift to the high school teams tonight, but the youth sports dominated the day here today at Vets Park, and it's a pleasure being here to watch these 7 youth games, and we will get ready for the high school setup tonight. Here's the windup and the pitch swung on, caught on the mound. The throw to get the tag out is not in time. And that will be a base runner reaching there for Cottage Grove. Wilwert back safely at first with 1 away in this top of the 4th inning. 3-2 the lead in the final moments of this game. And so the windup and a ball thrown there. 3-2 the count, the score. As Heiderscheid is the hitter for Cottage Grove here. The windup and the pitch, and she will take a strike on that one, and this should be the final batter of the game based on the time limit, give or take. The ump officially did say to us a little bit ago. So this one is popped up into second, and they try to tag out Wilwert, who ran from first to second, and Wilwert advances. So the windup, the pitch, off the glove. Wilwert heading towards third, gets there, and now the other runner, Heiderscheid, will take off to first. And Karnitz is in now in what could be the end of this game. Here's the windup, the pitch swung on and fanned on by Karnitz. And so this will be it. Olivia Karnitz will be the final batter of this game, and the windup here. And that one knocked away for a ball. Windup pitch swung on, and a chopper over to first is not able to make the play. That will score what will end up being the winning run for Cottage Grove. And Cottage Grove will defeat Hastings in this one tonight, 4-2, the final score in the final game of the youth session here at Softball Day in Hastings. Thanks for joining us on HCTV, and we'll see you for the JV game at 6 p.m. on KDWA. We're going to send you now to your regularly scheduled programming, and we will be back with you at about 5:52 or so to bring you coverage of JV softball against Matamidi. We'll see you in about a half an hour here on KDWA. I am Trey Lauer saying so long.